Hi, I'm Chrissy,
And I'm Jess.
and this is Financial Progress. And today we have a very special guest. We are here with Jess's husband, Hector, and we are going to hear all about their Puerto Rico story. So let's just dive in. What happened? What do you want to share with us in Puerto Rico? She said she has some exciting news or some exciting things that occurred in the airport with points. So let's just dive in. Talk about it. What happened?
The main thing is that we want to share that we booked our trip based on points. And I just wanted to break down how we did that and what we end up paying out of pocket at the end. But before we get started, man, I've never had dealt with like a crazy delayed flight. So you want to start?
So we get to the airport, everything's smooth, no lines in the TSA. Get through, get our bags checked, all that good stuff. Get to the terminal, everything's all good, flight's on schedule. We all board the plane. The plane gets away from the tarmac. It's like on its way to the runway to take off. And then we hear boom. Sorry folks, but our check engine light has come on in the cabin. So we are going to have to sit here until they open up another zone or gate so that we can go back. We can have the mechanics come on board and check to see what the issue is with the check engine light. So we sit there for about a good 2 hours. We're sitting on the plane, watching every other plane take off, like clockwork. And then they're like, okay, folks, we finally found a gate. We're going back to the gate. So we get back to the gate. They tell us we're going to have to get off the plane. So we get off the plane, and then they hit us with it doesn't look like we're going to be able to fix the problem. Your flight's not canceled, but it's delayed until 9:30 in the morning. Mind you, we got to the airport at 9 o'clock in the evening because our flight was at 11:55. So we got there around 9:30. So we get back to the terminal. Board the plane. It's two in the morning, 2-ish around there, and they tell us we have to go to baggage claim to claim our baggage. That they're not going to hold it and they're not going to transfer it to the next flight. So we have to go to baggage claim, get our baggage, go back around. Oh, mind you, we have to wait till 4 in the morning to go back through TSA and get our baggage checked again because you can't check your bags prior to more than 5 hours prior to your flight. So we go baggage claim. While we're doing that, Jess is looking up different flights and finds one for 8:30 in the morning. So it's already 2 something. We get our bags. We have to go back to TSA, and now the line is just wrapped around the airport to TSA. Mm-hmm. So we go through all that stuff. It's probably about 4 in the morning now, and we finally get to a little seat. We find a seat that we can relax in, and we're living in a terminal like Tom Hanks. So I'm finding carts to push back so I could get quarters out of the machine. And no, I'm just kidding. So we're sitting there. We're trying to sleep. You got people that like laid their luggage down on the floor and made a bed with blankets and just sleeping on the floor. So it's something we never experienced. So we're there. We're like, all right, so we got 4 hours, 3 hours before we get back on the flight for the 8:30 flight. So we 7:30 comes around, we start boarding our 8:30 flight. We get on, everything's good. They get off the gate, they get to the runway again, and boom! Sorry, folks, we have lost communication with our communication.
One of our radios.
Our radios is down. We can't communicate with the tower. So we'll get somebody over here to come check it out. And so we're sitting there another half hour, and they're like, all right, we're going to have to go back to the gate to have them check. It could take anywhere between 30 minutes, hour and a half. So we get back to the gate. We're sitting in the plane patiently, and then you hear, boom. Sorry, folks, this is taking a little longer than we expected. We're going to have to get you off the plane again. So we have to get back off the plane and back into the zone, into the airport. And we're like, oh, Lord, not again. Like, mind you, we should have been in Puerto Rico already by 4 in the morning to pick up our rental car. And we were going to take a ferry, drive over to the ferry to go to Vieques Island. We had a hotel booked. We had a rental car booked. We had the Bio Bay scheduled. So I think by the time they got us off the plane, they called us back fairly quickly. But our 8:30 flight is now 11:30, and we're still in the airport. So we get back on the plane, and we finally take off around 12:30. So we were supposed to be in Puerto Rico 4:30 in the morning, and we get there at 2:30 in the afternoon. So there was no way we was going to get our car rental. They canceled our rental because we were 4 hours past our pickup time. So I had to redo another rental, and they gave us talk about a beat up car. They gave us the worst car they could possibly have. Like it felt like our feet was powering this car. Like I was flooring it, and it's like it just wouldn't go. So we had to cancel that whole day of experience that we had set because of the airline. So it was like the first time we fly a good amount, almost every year, and this was the worst. Like it was a 16-hour flight. Yeah, so we finally get to Puerto Rico, and we had to cancel the first day. The whole day was just scratched. And it was just one of those things where it was unlucky.
Well, let's talk about money. Before all that, our flight was booked with our airline credit card, and I had points on there. So we were able to book our flights with points. And the only thing that came out of pocket was, I guess, bags and fees. So I'll tell you the total afterwards. So credit card paid for our flights, except for bags and seats. Did I pay for seats? Now, we had points on his credit card that covered the Vieques hotel, the car rental in Vieques, and the BioWay. Like all that was getting covered by the points. So we had to cancel all that stuff. The bad part about it was the hotel did not want to refund us. And I was like, but it's not our fault. So they said that if we can rent it out the same day, then they'll be able to refund us. So I was like, oh no, somebody's paying for this. So I contacted the airline and I was like, somebody need to give me some money. So they were gracious enough to give us a credit. This is all right. But they gave us more than we paid for the hotel. So
we have another free flight coming up soon.
I'm gonna have to, yeah, as long as it's a good experience. So anyway, we had enough points on the credit card to also pay for our normal. So we needed a car rental in PR and we needed a car rental in Vieques when you get to the island. So that one we canceled. Our points covered our car rental in PR. I have a hotel card with points on it. So it covered our hotel stay while in Puerto Rico. We were checking out another hotel that was separate. So that one we had to pay. But that also came with his points. Like we had 3 cards that were using points. So hotels were covered, car rental was covered, flights were covered. And anything that came out of pocket would be for any souvenirs we bought, food and drink, because you can't go to PR and not eat like 4 times a day. Like there's no way. The food is so delicious. And everywhere we go, it's so good. We did a romantic dinner on the beach at one of the hotels, which the points covered that as well. So I'm going to give you, total original price of everything without including points, right, was $3,275. And what we put out of our pocket came out to $1,000. And that's not including the credit that we got from the airline. So future credit. So I think we did pretty good on points. This was our first official time trying to use all points in every aspect. So I think we did pretty good, guys. When we're talking about points, it's so important that if you are looking into a credit card, that you're getting a credit card that is going to give you that big boost, 60 to 80,000 points, because that's what helps with his credit card. I think he applied for a credit card. If you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months, which you use that on your actual bills, it works out well. And then he got 80,000 points, and that 80,000 equals 800. So it was a good trip. Despite the sleeping at the airport.
Yeah, we looked. It was definitely different staying in the airport that long. It's like you get there, you want to be in and out. You don't want to, have to sit there. And they're not the most comfortable seats,
No,
so
they need
it's
some
just,
lounges.
they're like metal buckets.
They need some lounges in there. At one point, we were sitting on one of the hard chairs that had like metal railing. We were trying to sleep on there for an hour or so. It did not work. We went searching for like some cushion, and then we had to put like the chairs together to lay down. We were airport homeless, I guess. I don't know. That's what they call it. But yeah, it was bad. Yeah. I'm dying again.
It could have been worse. I mean, we heard of the other guy that was there. He was there for 5 days.
Oh no, wait. But that was a different story.
Yeah, his
They didn't have like record of him
purchasing
that he
a
had
ticket.
purchasing a ticket. And yeah, it was weird. And he was like, yeah, so the next flight was Friday. So he was there on Monday, next flight was Friday. And he was at the airport the whole time. And Hector was like, left to go to the other state. Hector was like, man, you should just go back out and enjoy the rest of your days. He was like, I ran out of flights. Like, oh my
He
God,
said the places they've been watching him walk around, and they've been giving him free food and stuff like that, which is nice,
He's the real terminal.
Yeah, he was the real
terminal. But crazy. So when we got to get our rental car, there was another family who used a different airline, and they said they had to go to DR to refuel, then to go to I don't know what's happening with these airlines, but yeah, so they were like 12 hours as well. Like by the time, yeah, it's crazy. I don't know what's going on with these airlines. They're getting worse. Yeah, we need our own jet.
Private jet.
Our own private jet. Oh my gosh. So yeah.
Well, that sounds amazing. You guys certainly saved a lot of money just by spending on your everyday living expenses.
Yes.
And yeah, that's amazing that you were able to do that and save that much money. You paid about a third of what you would have. So that's remarkable. So is there anything you would want to say to people who are like totally against credit card points and credit card rewards?
Well, like she said, it's if you're using it on stuff that you're going to pay with your debit card and just paying it off as you're doing it, you can accumulate those points very easily, so you can use it for, food shopping. Instead of using the money in your account, you use your credit card and then pay it right away, and it not only does it help your credit score, but also gets you closer to those points. And it keeps you from building up all that money, because what the creditors want you to do is they want you to use that $3,000, hit you with all that interest, have you pay $4,000 by the time you pay it off. But us, it was like we were paying it as we were using it, because we were going to use our money that's in the bank, and we were just using the credit card and then just sending the money right away. So it kind of made it easier for us, where you didn't just throw that money into a credit card and then have to stay paying for it. So.
Yeah, and I think like the most that people probably be scared of is having to spend that certain amount in the beginning, but you are budgeting those months. You are budgeting like any other month. You're budgeting your expenses. You're just going to use your credit card to replace them. But I feel like nowadays all we use is our credit card now instead of using our debit card. But it's budgeted. Pay your credit card every month. Do not let it sit. We do not have any interest building with using our points. We literally use the card, pay it off. We're just taking advantage of the points. No, we're not going to get rich off of it. I know that was a comment before that we had. No, we're not going to get rich off of it. But guess what? I only paid $1,000 for a $3,000 trip. So it's a huge on savings.
5-day trip.
And we still got to enjoy our time.
That's amazing. And I also do not use my debit card for purchases because of fraud related issues. A credit card is much safer to use while making purchases, especially online purchases. It's just not your own money that you're spending. It's much nicer and safer, I would say, to use it that way. Yeah, thank you guys for sharing your story. It sounds like you had an amazing time in Puerto Rico and only paid a third of the price, so I would call that a win. And is there anything else you would want to share?
No, we have credit, so we're going to be booking another flight.
Yes. January.
Maybe.
look forward to hearing about that flight and that experience in the future. So until next time, we will see you all on Financial Progress Podcast. And just want to give a little disclaimer that this is just a conversation between friends. This is not financial advice. And please seek the help of a financial professional before making any financial decisions. And we'll see you soon. Bye.